Hideaki Anno, the man, the legend, the creative genius whose varied output include the television series Neon Genesis Evangelion, the films Neon Genesis Evangelion, Death and Rebirth, The End of Evangelion, Evangelion 1.0, You Are Not Alone, Evangelion 2.0, You Cannot Advance, Evangelion 3.0, You Cannot Redo, Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0, Thrice Upon a Time, and Shin Godzilla, which incorporates themes from the Evangelion series and even plays some music from it. Anno is popular as the creator of the Neon Genesis Evangelion franchise, but there's also a movie I just recently watched, which I think doesn't get enough attention. Cutie Honey, the 2004 live-action adaptation of Go Nagai's manga of the same name. It starts like a typical Japanese manga movie, with our hero Cutie Honey in the bathtub holding her legs up, when she suddenly gets a phone call. Her uncle has been kidnapped and she has to take action immediately. She jumps out of the bathtub and in an effortless exercise of absurdist comedy tries to turn herself into her superhero persona. But in another stroke of genius storytelling we learn that this is currently not possible, because she has not enough energy. It's high time though, so she does the reasonable thing and runs only in underwear and trash bags through the city. In a masterful display, Anno is showing the view some men in Japan still have regarding women, who they just see as sexy trash running through the streets. We cut to the place of the kidnapping and see the police surrounding the kidnapper, Goldclaw, a member of Panther Claw, who is holding Cutie Honey's uncle as a hostage. It seems like she has been easily surrounded by the police and didn't have a plan to escape, like a stupid idiot villain in a bad anime. But she has a plan. Because in a clever metaphor for police corruption, we see that the police present is actually part of the Panther Claw, and instead of Goldclaw being surrounded, it's Inspector Natsuko who is in trouble. But just when everything seems lost, Cutie Honey appears and saves her, in one of the best scenes ever captured on film. But Anno doesn't just want us to think about social issues and spoil us with smart storytelling decisions, he also wants us to laugh and have fun. This is still a superhero movie after all, and we see a hilarious execution of the so-called switcheroo, a comedic trick only used by absolute masters of the craft. Cutie Honey switches places with her uncle, as we can see here. And surprises the bad guys with it. Cutie Honey defeats the bad guys, but just when everything seems good and the day saved, Goldclaw snags the uncle yet again, just to be defeated by the powerful Honey Boomerang, which cuts off the hair of Goldclaw, which she uses to propel herself into the air and fly, which I was told is a common transportation method in parts of Japan. And this is just the beginning of this masterpiece, and I don't say this lightly. Cutie Honey is possibly... No, scratch this. Cutie Honey is among the biggest achievements in human history. When the first 10 minutes were over, I said out loud I have never ever seen anything like it, and I don't think I will ever see anything like it ever again. I guess this is an unpopular opinion, but I'm not the biggest Hideaki Anno fan, or at least I wasn't until I watched this underappreciated masterpiece. While I was honestly quite confused in the beginning, Anno did not only answer the questions I had, but also answered some questions I didn't even know I had. Cutie Honey has changed my life, and I don't think that I'm the only viewer who experienced this, and an experience it is. While you would think that this is just a silly superhero movie when turning it on, you will soon learn that this is a perfect movie. After the first couple of minutes, which were action-packed, and set up some questions which will be answered later on, Anno makes the wise decision to fill the whole middle of the movie with scenes that feel utterly pointless a lot of times, something that could be called filler to expand the runtime until the ending battle takes place. But that's not the case. We learn a lot about the characters, especially Cutie Honey. We also learn about the other characters, like Detective Natsuko, who is also called Ned, or the reporter, and other characters like Cutie Honey is also basically an omnipotent being capable of everything when she just has enough energy, which she gets by eating onigiri and drinking green tea. She can change her looks, create weapons, and so on. She is basically invincible and fights the Panther Claw one by one. There's even a scene which shows that Anno can also effortlessly switch between genres, in a scene which shows the Cobalt Panther Claw run on the ceiling, in a scene which even trumps a similar scene from the already pretty good The Exorcist, which can't hold a candle to Cutie Honey though. We also see another very clever display of Anno's masterful direction and writing, when Cutie Honey is cornered in an elevator by the Cobalt Claw, and we see what looks like a hug, which is used to kill Cutie Honey, which spectacular backfires for Cobalt Claw when Cutie hugs her back, basically killing her with kindness. The kindness of her heart, and no one has more heart than the girl with the heart shirt. We don't just see Cutie Honey's kindness displayed as a weapon in this. We also see steam appearing, which represents that it can be pretty hot when two beautiful women hug and rub each other for a while being filmed. I could go on and on about this wonderful piece of art, like the sad scene which just follows after this gruesome killing, in which Cutie Honey is getting very sad in a scene reminiscent of Neon Genesis Evangelion. Another director probably wouldn't have added the scene as it doesn't fit to the general mood and theme of the movie, but Anno said, fuck it, I need sad horny teens in this one as well. Wait, are those even supposed to be teens? That would make the whole thing even weirder with all these booty and boob shots. As I said, there are wonderful scenes like right before the showdown, when the Gold Claw is just falling down a trapdoor and never seen again. Or a giant Eiffel Tower-like building being propelled into the sky. Or the revelation who the reporter actually is. There's also a scene in which Cutie Honey is falling from a building and lands butt first on the windshield of a van. When she apologizes, the driver is almost drooling. At first I thought that this should represent the viewers, but it's something even better. It's the creator of the manga, who acts like a pervert, being happy that the woman fell as first on his windshield, and instead of helping her, he just smiles. With these highlights, I want you, dear viewer, to experience the rest of this masterpiece, which can actually be found on YouTube. Or buy it on Laserdisc at a Walmart near you. Cutie Honey is the greatest achievement in human history, and after watching it, a new part of my life has started. A better part. Cutie Honey gets a 20 out of 10, and I wish you all a beautiful April Fool's Day.
お待ちしておりましたハニー様。